Alrighty, so there's a type of newspaper reporting at the turn of the century called yellow journalism, and this refers to the kind of sensationalized newspaper reporting. There are these two competing newspapers, particularly, that were really fighting with each other for readers. Yellow could refer to the type of paper that they used, because they used really cheap paper that would yellow. Also, might have something to do with a racist cartoon character that they included in their papers. There's some debate as to where that name came from, but our point is that it's sensationalized, and they're trying to outdo each other for readers. And so, with the Spanish-American War, a battleship named the Maine had gone down to Cuba to protect our interest. We weren't interested in waging war; we were just protecting our interests. So, a battleship named the Maine from the United States goes down to Cuba just to kind of hang out, protecting our interest, our economic interest. And that battleship explodes. Now, when it explodes, there's no evidence that there's been foul play. In fact, we find out years and years and years later that it was actually a boiler had malfunctioned in the battleship and caused the explosion. But the newspapers immediately report that it was, spies, it was people from Spain that were trying to do it. And so we use that as the excuse to go to war. And that's what gets us into the war with against Spain on the side of the Cubans. When we enter the war, we pass the Teller Amendment. And the Teller Amendment says that we have, we're just all about trying to help create independence in Cuba, and that we have no interest in sovereignty or territory in Cuba. But then, when the war ends, we're going to get access. Cuba's going to get its independence, and then we're going to get access to Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. So we acquire these territorial possessions. And then shortly thereafter, we pass the Platt Amendment. And the Platt Amendment says of Cuba that it cannot make foreign treaties without our approval. So it can't enter in treaties with other nations without our approval. That it can't... that we have broad authority to intervene if we think anything's going wrong. In Cuba, we can intervene. You're going to see this put into real practice a little bit later with that Roosevelt corollary. But we're basically saying that now. If anything goes wrong in Cuba, we're going to step in. And then third, we get a naval base in Cuba. This is Guantanamo Bay. So it seems a little contradictory, right? The Teller Amendment, we said we weren't interested in taking any territory in Cuba. And then now this Platt Amendment really is not letting the Cubans be an independent country. And then the Filipinos, they had been fighting war against the Spanish, and so then now we're just another foreign imperialist. And so when we try to go in and claim authority there, understandably, right, there's a fight against that by the Filipinos, and that leads to a war that lasts many years, kills thousands of Americans, tens of thousands of Filipinos. And you've got a document in your Reading the American Past that speaks to that war. All right, if you've got any questions, you can leave them in the discussion board with this module. Take care.